Hi, good morning and good afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in today. I'm Adam Glass with Advance2000, and we will get the webinar started in just one more minute at exactly noon. Just as soon as we give a few more people a chance to log on to the session. Right, it is 12 noon, so hopefully everybody that is going to be joining us has joined us. If not, we'll get caught up in a moment. One more time, hi, my name is Adam Glass with Advance2000, and welcome to Cloud Space. This is going to be one of our first full webinars. We've had 5 small mini-sodes leading up to this where we kind of talked about what we're going to be getting in today. Today's goal is to talk to you a little bit about everything that we went through with those mini-sodes, and we're going to repeat all those. So if you did not join us for those, there will be a recap on that. And at the towards the end of the presentation, we're going to be bringing on Mr. Robert Glass, which, by the way, absolutely no relationship to myself, even though we do share a last name. And Bob is a principal with the CGL companies, and he will be able to give you a firsthand experience with what he's had with Advance2000 and how his company has been able to benefit from the Advance2000 cloud. So with that, I'm going to get things started. So like I said, welcome to Cloud Space. Let me explain to you what Cloud Space means first. So this is a new term that I've come up with in the last few weeks. This is especially relevant in today's very changing world, the new normal that we hear out there so often that the media's been pushing. And basically what Cloud Space means to us now is the old-fashioned way of
Hey, Adam, you muted yourself.
Sorry, my slides here were.
You muted again, just so you know.
Okay, I'm unmuted, but for some reason my slides aren't working here.
You want to click on the screen, Adam, and then you should be able to use the arrow keys to.
Okay, I'll go to this. So basically what the old-fashioned way of looking at an office space, a brick and mortar type of office, an old-fashioned place where everybody would go to work, that idea has been changing over the last decade or so. But with the way things have gone in the last couple of months, that's accelerated the entire work from home, work remotely, work from anywhere that you happen to be that day. And I've coined that type of environment your cloud space. This is the ability to be able to have all of your data, all of your resources, all of your compute power, everything that you would need and depend upon in a normal work environment available to no matter where you happen to be. Okay, as long as you've got internet access in today's world, you should be able to have absolutely everything that you are accustomed to, including the performance that you would need to be able to run any application for wherever you are. So that is what Cloud Space is. Start off with, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who Advance2000 is and why we are positioned ideally in this world and this market to be able to offer such a solution like this. So to start off, Advance2000 is a 30-plus-year-old company. We're headquartered just outside of Buffalo in Amherst, New York. We started out as an IT company, a company that would build servers, computers, large data networks. One of the very first companies to move into voice over IP. We've deployed those to several universities, hospitals, school districts, and companies around the world. A little over a decade ago, we started going into the cloud business. What I mean by that, we had a customer that we did traditional IT with, and they needed us to be able to host an application. And we weren't really calling it cloud back there. We weren't really even calling it virtualization, but we were trying to provide a solution for customers to be able to get what I was describing before, and that is access to their applications and their data from remote offices or wherever they happen to be able to work. This was something that was really necessary in certain industries and now is necessary in all industries. It's important to mention that our data centers are wholly owned by Advance2000 and operated by Advance2000. We do not use other companies like Azure or AWS or anything like that for our data centers. These are our own data centers, and I emphasize data centers. We do have multiple data centers for redundancy purposes. Approximately 85% of the employees here at Advance2000 are engineering and support people. These are folks that, this is what they are dedicated to doing. We are constantly having to support our customers with a 24-hour help desk. A smaller portion of the company, that roughly 15% of the company, would be administrative and sales. So we are very heavily invested in our engineering side of it. Okay, we are a proven and a fully customized, fully managed solution here. We've been doing this for many, many years. This isn't something that we're trying out or recently in. We've been doing this, hosting this in our cloud for a decade now. Today, we have tens of thousands of virtual desktops of varying sizes, and we'll get into those types of things that we run and manage out of our cloud. Okay, which, by the way, we do also enjoy unlimited capacity. We have some very the owners of our company have had the vision to be able to make sure that we have the hardware necessary to be able to bring on new customers and be able to upgrade our customers even in these very difficult times. So that's something I thought would be important mentioning. What services can you migrate to the cloud? So let's start off with that. There's all kinds of different clouds out there. And what we're talking about today is a private cloud. And what you're virtually able to do is be able to migrate just about any service that you can think of to your cloud. All right. This includes all your data. All right. So no matter what that happens to be, that could be your file server data. That could be your general accounting information. That could be your CRM, your firewall, all that kind of stuff. This includes all your backup, co-location, and archival systems. All right. So it acts as a system of redundancy for both accidental types of things as well as that human error that can come into play. What we try to do is take that human factor out of the picture and make it so that it's basically idiot-proof, if you pardon the phrase, but it allows us to be able to make sure that we are looking out for our customers and being able to back it up, allowing you to be able to focus on your core businesses. And that's the most important thing. If you take away anything from this today, is our purpose is to be able to take the IT piece out of your business, allow us to be able to handle that, augment that with your existing IT people, allowing you to be able to focus on the core business of that company, whether it be architectural, accounting, healthcare, whatever the case may be. It's also important to be able to make sure that you're able to migrate all your desktops to that cloud. Okay, and what I mean by that, there's lots of different technologies out there. What we're talking about doing is moving your organization all to the cloud. That way, regardless of the device that you're working on, you are working in that cloud. So this could be the machine that you know and you work with every day, but instead of logging onto that local machine, you are going onto that cloud machine, okay, that is sitting in your private cloud. This doesn't necessarily need to be a computer. It could be a laptop. It could be a laptop of very little resources. You don't need to have any kind of graphic resources on there or RAM or anything like that that you would normally need to be able to run your programs, because you are running them in your cloud desktop now. This could be something as basic as a smartphone. It could be a thin client or zero client machine, which we are seeing more and more of. Since all of your intelligence is up in the cloud, it really doesn't matter what you have there locally. Another important service that we're able to move into the cloud is your voice services, okay? This means your phone system, all right, without compromise. So full voicemail, full unified messaging, call center, communications apps like Teams and Rainbow, that all can be brought into the cloud so that everything is managed, everything is taken care of, everything is running and redundant in that cloud, freeing your people up, freeing your people up to be able to do their jobs. When we find ourselves in a situation like today, and it could be a virus, it could be a natural disaster, it could just be the ability to be able to offer your employees to work from anywhere they want. This now includes voice, right? So you're able to bring all that, and your presence is completely ubiquitous at that point. Any application, all right? So I don't care what it is. This could be the most high-end compute resource intensive applications that are out on the market today. To name a few of them, Revit, Lumion, these are applications that are very popular in the architectural and engineering industries, require a great deal of graphic resources, a great deal of RAM. What's important is when you do move to a cloud, a private cloud especially, that there is no compromise. You don't have to worry about what applications that you depend on to be able to have your company working, including medical imaging and other things like that. It's important to be able to have all that supported on that cloud infrastructure, okay? One of the most important things out there is security. As a provider ourselves, we're seeing more and more attacks on companies and people, their own personal computers than ever before. Phishing attacks and spear phishing attacks are all-time highs. So when you're moving a company and migrating a company to a cloud, or whether you're still doing something premise-based, having a firewall, having a unified threat management or advanced threat management types of applications, including endpoint protection, is extremely important. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So these are the services that you're able to migrate to the cloud. And when you're looking into a cloud solution, it's very important to make sure that you are able to do all these types of things, okay? A little bit more on cloud space and the ability to be device independent. You can turn the most basic device into a state-of-the-art workstation. What I mean by that is you could take literally a 5-year-old, 6-year-old old laptop, something that was probably a very basic machine to start with. And when you're logging into your cloud desktop, that machine that you're logging into simply becomes a dummy device. It's there for your mouse clicks and your keystrokes and your screen, and that's it. All the rest of your compute resources aren't going to be on that cloud desktop. So basically, we can turn the most basic type of device into a very, very high-end workstation simply by logging into your cloud. What this also does for you is you're able to do it from anywhere, right? This is, again, extremely important today, but one day we will move past the virus. And it's important to be able to give flexibility to employees so that they can work from wherever it happens to be, whether that's due to something like we're going through today or a natural disaster, or just to be able to have the ability to offer your employees to work from home. This has been an outstanding asset for many companies. They don't have to worry about losing people due to having a baby or being able to take care of something going on at home. You're able to give people that freedom to work from anywhere on any device. This is also accomplished with very low bandwidth requirements. We ask for, even on the most compute resource applications that you might be running, only about 1.5 to 2 megabits per second per user. That's a very easy and very affordable amount of bandwidth to be able to do. Because again, all the computing is being done in the cloud. You're no longer pushing back and forth large files. Everything is going to be in there at wire speed in the data center and backed up. So those bandwidth requirements, that expense is drastically lowered. I mentioned thin client and zero clients. This brings in the best of both worlds. And what these are just very simple devices with no computing resources on them. It just connects you to the internet, and you can go ahead and set them up with multiple screens, and our cloud supports multiple screens. You can have up to 4 different screens up there at one time. And these zero clients and thin clients that we sell are start out at a couple $100. Much easier to be able to, and much more affordable, able to deploy to a workforce than very expensive computers. Very safe and secure, even when you are sheltered in place. We can encrypt all of this data, so no matter what's going on, we provide you with endpoint protection to safeguard against ransomware and phishing attacks, like I mentioned before. One of the biggest things about this is it allows for full collaboration. So you're no longer islands, all sitting out there on your own and having to depend on people uploading the data and having it there. This is all done at real time. So when you're working in a collaborative team, all the data, all the models, all the files that you need are there at wire speed once you get into your cloud, okay? Teams should have access to everything all the time without compromise. BYOD, so bring your own device. This has been a term out there for several years, but again, it allows you to be able to use whatever device you want, okay? What I have up here on the screen are some of the very high-end applications that we support, like I mentioned, Revit, Navisworks, Enscape, Lumion, you name it, we can do it. In fact, I challenge you to be able to find an application that we're not able to support on our cloud. And the other graphic that I have up here goes through some of the standard virtual desktops that we deploy, okay? This can range anywhere from a utility, standard virtual desktop for maybe just your normal type of Office 365 users, people using Excel and email, that kind of thing, all the way to a machine there towards the bottom, which we call our Designer Plus Q4 machines. These are capable of running the most high-end compute applications that there are out there, including rendering and other types of applications that you don't find normally. The point of it is you are not stuck with one. And the best thing about this is you can start off with any one of these, and as your demands increase, the need to be able to upgrade a virtual desktop to handle certain softwares that might come down the pike as you go along. It's as simple as calling a 1-800 help desk number, telling them, hey, I need to upgrade any aspect of that virtual desktop, and it's a click away, and we can instantaneously do this. Far, far easier than having to upgrade a laptop or a PC and add RAM to it, or buying new ones, or whatever it happens to be. It allows your company to be very agile and dynamic to be able to answer your clients' needs. Okay, so a little bit about the Collaboration Hub. What you're looking at here is basically over here in this section right here, where hopefully my mouse is hovering over, is the Advance2000 private cloud. All right, and in here you're going to have firewall protecting it from the outside, your data, your network, and all those CPUs, the virtual desktops that we would be working off of. This connects right to the internet. This can be done over many different ways. The most common way is this through what we use is a VMware Horizon client that builds a tunnel, encrypts all that traffic for you, and connects you directly to your virtual infrastructure. It can also be a point-to-point, where you can have a dedicated fiber connection going straight from your prem to our data center. For very large deployments, this might be a more recommended way of doing things, but the point is Advance2000 has the ability to be able to peel off bandwidth in that fashion and be able to give you a direct point-to-point from our data centers to wherever you happen to be and give you that dedicated bandwidth. All right, and there's my cloud space graphic coming up again real quick. This addresses those home workers, remote workers, headquarters, wherever you happen to be. It's your cloud space. All right, a few other pop-ups there. All the different types of devices that we can get. Okay. Finally, how are we going to be able to control IT costs? This is probably one of the biggest mysteries for most people that are looking at a P&L, the bottom line. How often does the IT guy walk into your office and say, hey, listen, we need to buy this right away or everything is going to stop working tomorrow? And not being an IT expert yourself, you have no choice but other than to do that. We take that mystery out of IT, okay? Everything is up in this cloud and managed for you. You don't get those surprises. We are constantly updating and monitoring our customers for those types of security issues to make sure that you're getting the type of bandwidth that you need, that your email is working the way it is. And if there's a problem, we're more than likely going to know about it before you do. But if you do know about it before we do, you call our 800 number or you log on and through a portal and you get instant access to our live help desk and be able to help you with whatever that problem happens to be. This allows you to be able to focus on the core of your company. If you're an architectural firm, you can be an architect, you can be a building information modeler, you can be an accountant, a doctor, whatever it happens to be. You're not worrying about the technology, okay? The technology in today's world should be a utility. You go over to a light switch, you turn on the lights, it's there. You go and you plug in your toaster and the electricity works. When you go to the cloud and you work in this type of an environment, your IT becomes a utility too. It's just there. And if you do need help with it, you're a phone call away. All right. We want to be able to partner with firms and augment the existing information technology that you have. Not necessarily to replace that. If it's something that is absolutely necessary, you need to be able to have that on-site type of support. We're here to be able to augment that, be able to help you be able to focus on those things that we talked before and not get weighed down in the IT part of it. This gives your company a great deal of agility. It allows you to be able to be much more responsive to your customers' needs and be able to focus on your core business. That is our end goal. That is our ultimate thing that we want to be able to achieve, that we endeavor for, is for our customers to be able to focus on your core business and allow us to be able to take that IT out of it and handle that for you. Take your company back. We have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day live support, which, by the way, our primary data center and our primary network operations center is located in the same place where our data center is in Amherst, New York. So when you call us, you're talking to people here in the US that can help you, all right? That, I think, is very important to be able to mention to a lot of people. Which, by the way, we're going to be taking questions at the end of this. So if you are submitting questions to us, we will be able to address those towards the end. This was a slide that some of my colleagues suggested that I not put up here, but I do like this because I do think in the changing times that this paradigm has shifted. It used to be that information technology was just a call center. It was an expense. It was a call center, I should say, not a call center. It was an expense. It was just something that you had to have in order to make your company work. When you move to a platform like this, you've changed that paradigm. It makes your company unique in the fact that it is a differentiator between you and people that other companies that have not made that jump yet. It makes you more competitive. It makes you more of a leader purely by the fact that you have made that investment in your own clients to make your company more redundant, more resilient, and more accessible, right? Customers of Advance2000 that were already in our cloud, when March came and the shelter-at-home orders came from the government and businesses had to shut down unless you were essential, were running around trying to figure out how they were going to be able to stay in business, how they were going to be able to send their employees home and continue to work. Companies that were already in the Advance2000 cloud did not have that challenge. They went home, they went to either to their personal computer that they already had at home, or if they had the luxury of being able to bring that computer home, they were able to immediately get to work from their home offices, from their kitchen tables, wherever they happen to be, didn't skip a beat. That is becoming more and more important, and we have people lining up to be able to take advantage of that type of service. Invest in your clients. This is something that you'll be able to brag about. You'll be able to go, and when you're trying to recruit business, this is something that you can add to your benefits. Why it's important to be able to choose your company and the investments that you've made in your information technology that sets you apart from the rest. With that, I'm going to introduce one of our customers now. This gentleman, his name is Robert Glass. Again, no relationship whatsoever there, but Robert is the Executive Vice President and Director of Justice Services for the CGL company. Some of his information is up there on the screen, but better than that, Amato, if you can turn over to Robert now, and I will let Robert talk about his experience with us.
Morning, everybody. Oops. Morning, everybody. Thanks. I just wanted to give you a little bit about CGL first and talk about our relationship with A2000. Our company is an international firm, consulting firm that really has a niche focus just on the criminal justice system. So our clients demand a lot of response from us, a lot of support time, and the A2000 has helped us get there. But about 6 years ago, we looked for a more collaborative IT system as we merged about 7 different firms together. And as we looked and researched around, A2K kept coming up to us as the right fit for our solutions. And as we got into working with them about 5 years ago, we noticed that our revenue model systems shared between offices better. We have 7 different offices, so sharing was very important to us. We also wanted to be able to use extensive modeling software to show our clients solutions that we come up with. Many of our clients have a hard time visualizing the solutions. We wanted to be on site with the clients and have instant access to our models and clouds, which allowed us to do this as we moved to. Ultimately, we felt our cloud system was allowing us to be more at the forefront of our consulting services. We spend a lot of time on the road, our staff does with the clients. And now we've moved into the system right now where A2K is our sole IT support system. We don't have any IT staff. We rely on A2K for everything. As COVID came along, what really hit home to us was that this system we had in place allowed us to literally move home overnight. People just picked up the computer, went home. A couple people grabbed a monitor or two because it was better than one at home. But we had no loss of revenue, no production loss. Things have just been seamless and moving forward. So it's really been a very nice, we're awful glad we started this 5 years ago, but it's allowed us to really now move into business as usual from home. And that was really, it's really where we're at right now. Adam, some questions or comments or thoughts from you on where we're at?
Adam, I think you're muted.
Bob, the type of business that you're in, that being architectural design and facilities management, you guys employ a lot of those very high-end applications like I mentioned before, such as Revit and things like that. Can you maybe talk a little bit about how the Advance2000 Cloud was uniquely suited to be able to address some of those demands that you guys had that others were not able to?
Sure. No, we have 7 offices here in the U.S. and when we work on a project, we'll work on it with staff from 2 or 3 or 4 offices at a time. So the collaboration, particularly on the Revit models, are extremely important. Having the speed we needed that A2K allowed us to develop with us, so we can all work together at the same time and not have lag times. Our office said we have staff in Mexico City that work on these projects with us, and as well over in the Middle East. So it just allowed us to tie everything together. You really don't notice. Even I was over in Abu Dhabi recently, and to get right on the network, there was no issues with being able to do things. So it really has allowed us to move to a company that really has no boundaries anymore with our systems.
And right now we're in the middle of actually expanding the CGL footprint within the Advance2000 cloud to incorporate the facilities management division of CGL, which included Office 365 and Teams and lots of other things. So, you know, Bob, thank you very much for your partnership, and hopefully things continue to work as well as they have been. So I'd like to open up the questions to people that have joined. Amato and Andrew, I know you guys can see those questions.
Yeah, so far nothing to report.
So, have any questions?
Keep on trucking for now.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
We got one. I can read. Okay. So first was it looks like it may be a question here for Robert. How was the support from Advance2000 for ongoing business?
You know, I'll tell you the one thing that as COVID hit, the one thing that worried me the most was that we were in the process of doing a fairly major transition of our email servers and things over, and to pick up and go home, have everybody working remote, and manage our email migration. It was literally seamless. There's always a few speed bumps. Nothing ever happens perfectly, but the A2000 staff are always there. The help desk is now has really come online to help support this system as we transition. So we moved through a pretty major change in how we were doing business, the last little piece of our business, right during the middle of this whole pandemic, and it just flowed seamlessly. Really, it's the staff's been great.
Okay. Andrew, any more questions come in, or are people keeping to themselves?
So far that's it.
Okay. All right. The reason my screen isn't advancing here, but oh, there we go. Here's a list of some of the other customers that we have. So just as a really quick recap, Advance2000 is a private cloud computing company. We are able to support any application that you would like to be able to move to the cloud. We would very much so like to talk to you. My contact information is right here below, both my email address and my phone number. I encourage you to call, even if it's just a question that you have about it, anything that comes up during today's webinar. We do also offer a free evaluation. So if this is something that you want to try out, Advance2000 can go ahead and have one of our virtual desktops spun up for you, or maybe a couple of them for you. And these can be those high-end virtual desktops capable of supporting some of those very high-end compute applications. And like I said, we would like to see the challenge of if you have a problem being able to host a certain application that you may depend upon in the past, give us a try. Let me know. We'll get a demo account spun up for you, help you load those applications, and turn it over to you for a few days, a week or so, and put us through its paces. Load your models, load your files, have multiple people within your company try it out, and then we're sure that you're gonna be very impressed, and we can take the conversation where it goes to from there.
We have one more question that came in too. It looks like another one for Robert here. Specifically, has Advance2000 been responsive to your needs after hours?
Well, that's a tough question. I don't check after hours as much. I would say that Yes, I'd have to say yes. They have been responsive. Anytime you do with the help desk where you're working remotely with a help person trying to help you, there are frustrations that happen sometimes with companies. But generally, it's been really good. I mean, we've been happy, very pleased with what's been going on during this whole pandemic.
Can you describe any, another one just came in here, can you describe any difficulties during your conversion to the cloud specifically?
You know, I think the difficulty is getting a lot of times getting the staff and us in 2000 all together on what our goal is, keeping the eye on the end product. There's, you know, nothing's ever easy. Anything you do, this is what seems to have some surprise out there. But generally, if we're all on the same goal, I think we've gotten to the point where we want to be. And the proof really was being able to just pick up your laptop or your machine and take it home with you. And we got there. We're very productive over the system now. The email migration was an interesting one, but that's partly because we were a parent company of ours. We just had to struggle with breaking some different ties in that. But overall, it went very, very well as you look back on it.
Yeah, I think actually even in your case, Robert, you went out and acquired your own PCs and laptops through Dell, and then had those machines shipped to us into our headquarters, where we unboxed them, imaged them, got them all set up, and then shipped them out to all your respective users around the country and the world. So pretty much all they had to do was take them out of the box, turn them on, plug them in, and they were on their way. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you're right. I think the unique piece that really working on this is that we have probably 30% of our staff are remote users. So they're not coming to the office and plugging into the system. They're actually working remotely, and that's where our planners work. A lot of our consultants work. So it went, you know, really went very well for us. It's a complicated company to put together. It sounds easy, but you have all the remote staff, your planners around the world, and it all comes together.
So one more here. Do you feel the right decision was made, or would you have made a different decision had you been with Advance2000 for a number of years? Or I guess maybe it's a two-parter there. Have you been with Advance2000 for a number of years?
You know, I think that, I guess to me, a number of years. We've been with them 5 years, and there's no doubt we took a look a couple of years ago and said, is it the right solution? You know, is there a better widget to cause it? Has somebody surpassed now what 2000 give us? And kind of a little task force internally looked all around, and they said, nope, A2K is right where we need to be. They are the guys we need to stay with. And that's when we decided to really launch the rest of our platform into the cloud with A2K and put it all there. And as Adam mentioned with the computers, they are now our really in-house IT staff for us too. We bring a new person on board, the computer, A2000 spends up the computer for us, gets it all ready, and ships it to them. So we've just basically taken all our IT support help to A2K.
Bob, I have a question. You know, given what's gone on in the last couple of months, as a decision maker at CGL, are you starting to look at maybe the necessity to be able to go back to a traditional office environment for some of your locations, or are you looking at maybe to free up some of that expenses and be able to take advantage of being able to work from anywhere?
You know, we've been kind of toying internally. The designers in particular, the collaborative nature of design, where you can poke your head up and all across the desk at somebody, it works on Teams, and we're a heavy user right now of Teams in terms of chatting and video conferencing. We use quite a bit of it, but there's a little bit of that personal loss, and so we looked at it and said, no, we're going to keep our office structure because it does help with our designers and creative nature of people talking back and forth, and just overhearing a conversation occasionally on a project. But our planners are typically more remote. They work that way, and so it works. But overall, I'd say no, we're not looking at that at all.
Okay, all right. Just thought I asked because we are getting that a lot of that type of the options being floated out there just because of the very high cost of maintaining an office. Some people are thinking, wow, this works great, so maybe we can downsize or that kind of thing. I was just wondering if that was something that CGL also was looking at. But yeah, given the nature of business, I can understand how that being able to, like I said, stand up and peer over the cubicle and be able to talk to your colleague would definitely be an important aspect there. Andrew, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, got another one here. People really like asking you here questions here, Robert. So this one is what was your biggest concern converting over to the cloud, and how were you able to gain comfort to come to your decision to migrate over? What kind of led up to that decision for you?
I'll tell you the decision to migrate was really placed in the hands of our design staff. We had a fellow from the New York office, Lexington, Kentucky, and one in Sacramento that kind of really took a hard look and helped figure out what's best for our staff. You wouldn't want me to do that all myself. We might have come up with the wrong thing. These guys took a lot of time. They've spent many hours working with other staff in the offices to make sure it was the right solution. And so I look at it and say, we turned it over to the staff to figure out what the solution ought to be. And they came up, I think, with the right one. We're very comfortable with it. In fact, we're adding on their accounting system right now onto this cloud system as we're speaking. This year is our transition to Dynamics on the cloud. So.
Andrew, any more?
Looks like that's it for now.
That's it for now? Okay. Then I'll go ahead and wind this down. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. By the way, we will be doing more of these. I'm probably going to plan it for about another 2 weeks out from now. The next topic is going to be on security. This is a very hot topic in today's world. I talked a little bit about phishing, spear phishing, ransomware, all those scary terms out there. And we're going to be having another webinar very much like this that's going to be totally focused on that topic. So we look forward to you joining us again, and we'll be sending out notifications as to when exactly that will get scheduled for. And please, any more questions come up, my email address is there on the screen, aglass@advance2000.com. or my cell phone number, 732-245-3294. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great day, and please be safe and healthy out there. Take care.